Thank you for joining me today. This is another standard daily, but M14 has just come out, is less than a week old, so I have all the new cards. I can show you a new deck and a new standard. Today I'm playing a brew of mine that I really like. It's two of my favorite colors, playing some of my favorite cards, and it's based off an M14 uncommon you probably have already heard about, Young Pyromancer. And some people have compared this to being like the red Tarmogoyf or Snapcaster Mage or Stormforge Mystic or Dark Confidant. I wouldn't go that far, but it is really good. Once it starts going, you just steep yourself in like card advantage. All your instants and sorceries become 2-for-1s, and it's pretty awesome. It's really good. There hasn't been really a deck take off yet. I know some people were trying to play Mono Red at an Open a couple weeks ago. Didn't really get there with a Young Pyromancer and with like Krenko's Commands and Dynacharge. But today I'm trying it in a blue-red Delver build. This kind of reminds me of the blue-red Delver that got played right after Innistrad. Someone won an Open with it. I played it actually at the side events at Worlds in San Francisco. It was fairly good. It wasn't as good as like the Illusion deck at the time, but it was still fine. It plays some of the same cards like Delver's Secrets, Snapcaster Mage, Chandra's Phoenix, which is another reprint. So what this deck is trying to do is play just an early threat and just get value through my spells, and then just kill them with I got some burn spells and controlling elements. So my creatures are Delver's Secrets. If you don't know what that is, it's a 1/1 for 1 blue. That during my upkeep I reveal the top card of my deck, and if it's instant or sorcery, it turns into a 3/2 flyer. And it dominated last year, but hasn't seen too much play, and maybe this is the right time for it. So we're playing that. We're playing 4 Snapcaster Mages to get value out of our instants and sorceries. We can flash them back. Young Pyromancer, like I said, just get tons of elemental tokens. And I'm trying out Chandra's Phoenix. I was trying out Talrand in this deck. The problem with Talrand, compared to 4, is that before, when it got played, is that there's no Phyrexian mana cards. You can't just play Talrand and then fire off 2 free spells and get some Drakes. You have to let it untap. So paying 4 mana for a 2/2 that doesn't do anything right away is not really where you want to be sometimes, because you just play a Talrand and they play like a Thragtusk, or like they Rampage something, and you're tapped out, or they play like a Thundermaw Hellkite. It's just less impressive than you think it would be. So I'm playing Chandra's Phoenix. I've had success with it before in the blue-red Delver deck before, and I think it's good. You can just get it back. You can mill it with your Thought Scour and then get it back. It's just a good value. It's a 2/2 flyer for haste. For 3 with haste is always really good. So those are our creatures, and for our spells, we have some burn spells. We have 4 Pillar of Flame and 4 Searing Spear. And this Pillar of Flame is really good against like the Aristocrats deck. It takes care of all the 2-drops, and like Voice of Resurgence doesn't come back. Blood Artist doesn't trigger. I don't like playing against Blood Artist. That card is a pain to deal with, and Pillar of Flame is like the best way to deal with it. Then we have lots of card draw. We have 2 Quickens, 4 Thought Scour on 1 mana, and 3 Desperate Ravings. I was trying out 4 Quickens, but it just didn't do enough by itself. I'm not really playing it for the sorcery effect, just playing it for a 1 mana draw card. Back in the day, Delver decks played 4 Ponder and 2 Thought Scour. And so far, 6 1 mana cantrips have been working out pretty well. I just like being at that spot. And then we're also playing Desperate Ravings. We can mill it off Thought Scour, we can draw more cards. Usually discarding a card at random doesn't hurt us. A lot of our cards do the same things. So like I wouldn't ever do it with like a Young Pyromancer in my hand, but outside of that I just always just fire it off. And it just digs you deeper, gets you value. And I'm happy to play it. And we're also playing Unsummon. Pseudo Removal gets rid of bigger creatures, gets rid of blockers, things that Pillar of Flame and Searing Spear otherwise couldn't deal with. And then round out the deck, we're playing 4 Syncopates as counter magic. And I was actually playing 4 Izzet Charm in this deck originally, but I felt that just didn't do enough. Like, it seems like awesome. It just has all these awesome abilities. You know, 2 damage to a creature is good. Spell Piercing a spell is good. Drawing 2, discarding 2 can be good in the later game. But at 2 mana, it just doesn't do enough. Like, sometimes you just want to hold it open for the counter spell. But I'd rather just play real counter spells like Syncopate, which can deal with anything. Because there's so many just powerful and high impact creatures in this format right now that holding up a Spell Pierce for 2 mana isn't that good. And doing 2 damage to a creature a lot of time doesn't do enough. And Searing Spear or Pillar Flame is just better. So that's our main deck. We're playing 21 lands. I'm not playing Mutavaults yet. The deck
is somewhat color intensive. Like you want blue early, and you want enough blue to like cycle all your spells and Snapcaster Flashback, and then like red to Snapcaster Flashback or for Chandra's Phoenix. So sometimes I'm a little mana or color screwed. Like I'll have like 2 islands and 1 mountain I can't cast. I play Young Pyromancer and a Pillar of Flame. So I haven't tried out Mutavault yet, just because it seems like a little too harsh on the mana. It is a good card. It probably fit very well in the deck, but I just don't have room for it. I might, when I do try it out, I might like take out some more basic lands and put in Guild Gates, like 1 or 2. So if we go to our sideboard, uh, another new card from M14, I'm playing 4 Burning Earth, because right now, if you have seen any kind of event information, like from the last Grand Prix or for the Invitational Open, Juns and Blue White Red are the best decks in the format right now. They're just putting up the most results, just having the most success. Most pros are playing those 2 decks. Like at the Magic World Championship, 13 of the 16 decks in Standard were those 2 decks, and the other 3 being red type aggro decks, Naya, Boros, and Gruul. So Burning Earth, we can take advantage of that. We'll usually only have like 1 or 2 non-basics in play. Sometimes we'll have more, but it always hurts them more than it hurts us. I played a game earlier today. I was playing against like a white, black, red control deck, and I played it, and he had no no basics in play, and he had died shortly after. So it's very powerful. It's really good against them. He'll like Jun now sideboards a couple of Gogori Charms, and Blue White Red has like a main deck Detention Spheres. And so sometimes they do have answers for them, but if they don't have an answer for them, they just die. So I'm really impressed with it, and I'm really happy to play my sideboard. We also have 2 negates for the control matchups. Mizzy Motors for those red-based aggro decks. He gets rid of Flinthoof Boar and like a Gore Clan Rampager and those kind of creatures. Also like Trickery. That's good against like I don't have much for Bant Hexproof. It's not that popular right now. I am seem kind of weak to it. Like if they put an Unflinching Courage on an Invisible Stalker, just like most decks, I'm pretty non-resilient to that. But Electricry's help. I can get rid of Invisible Stalkers with them. Also Cyclonic Rift, I also bring in for that matchup. I can bounce the enchantments and have them not gain life and erase more effectively. They're just for other, just general. I like having bounce spells when I'm playing blue decks generally, and this is pretty nice. A lot better than Disperse. You can overload and get rid of all their permanents potentially. I haven't had that come up yet, but it's just I like to have it on my sideboard. Also playing a couple Skull Cracks. That's also for like blue, white, red, and maybe Bant, just decks that want to gain life. I just want to stop that and keep my clock going. Alright, so that's the deck. Hopefully we can do well with it. I'm still just been doing testing. This will be my first daily with it, but I do have good hopes. It seems really good and really powerful, and it also is a ton of fun, which is the most important thing. Alright, so we'll see you back for the start of round 1.